medicine provider for BYU Athletics. For San Diego and Sam Scholl, it'll be Finn Sullivan. He'll be assigned to TJ Haas. Braun Hartfiled, Joey Calcaterra, Alex Floresca, the only senior on this roster after starting 4 seniors last year, and James John Marie. That's the starting 5 for the Toreros. For the Cougars tonight, and Mark Pope, it'll be TJ Haas, Alex Barcelo, Jake Toulson, Dalton Nixon coming off his first career double-double, and Colby Lee. Mark Pope in his first year at BYU. The Cougars are 13-5, and tonight projected as a 9 seed in the big dance by ESPN's Bracketology. Our opening tip-off is presented by Les Olson Company, your office technology partner. BYU is perfect against San Diego here at home. Blaine, the Toreros blew them off the Las Vegas floor last March, the last time these two teams were together.
Well, Sam Scholl brought an inspired basketball team to that WCC tournament, one full of veterans, senior, especially on that guard line. They were so good on the guard line.
Quick foul down low on Sullivan. That'll be his first. Finn coming off a 25-point night against Pepperdine. He's 6'4", longer arms, and that's why he's been assigned TJ.
Well, and he's a guy that also can contribute on the offensive end, so they expect him to defend. And then if he can do that without getting worn out, they expect him to shoot and make shots on the other end.
Pause in for a layup. And TJ picks up right where he left off. Last Saturday, 13 points, 14 assists, no turnovers. It was a dominating performance.
To defend TJ Haas, it's not just going to be Finn Sullivan. They've got a team defend him and help, and then force the ball to be kicked, and then close on the shooters on the outside.
Baseline, double team, passing out of it. Hartfield. First shot of the night is off. Colby Lee on the rebound.
And in that meeting last year in the tournament, the Toreros did a phenomenal job of shutting BYU down from the perimeter. Everything was contested, and BYU went 1 of 17.
They're 2 for 2 so far tonight down low as Colby Lee gets the bucket. It's 4-0.
And when we watch this BYU team this year, they just have a passion to play defense. And they've been really solid, and they've played multiple games where they've been good for 40 minutes defensively.
Sullivan picked up by Barcelo, and he throws it away. BYU, as you mentioned, Blaine, one of the best three-point shooting teams in the league, the best three-point defensive team in the league.
And here's a look back at that previous offensive trip down where Colby Lee ends up being the beneficiary of a nice assist and finishes at the rim. And this young Toreros team, one of the things they've struggled with is slow starts. They shoot the ball well in the first half, and then these young players kind of get a feel.
Cougs have been red hot in their starts as Nixon misses its first.
34% in first half in these 4 league games, 44% in the second half for the Toreros. And for BYU, you're right, they come out of the locker room and they've been shooting the ball really well in first halves of basketball games.
Knocked out of bounds. Toreros will keep it. Dalton Nixon, been nothing short of spectacular in his role. At 6'7", having to often play the big man. First shot by Sullivan's in and out. Gets his own rebound, and Barcelo steals it away. Here's TJ. Mid-range, buries it.
Right,
He's got 4.
That's a tough shot to give that really hard ball fake, wait for the defender to go up and come down, have the patience to then get up there and make a mid-range shot. Phenomenal job of control by TJ Haas on that.
Number 13 all-time in scoring as Sullivan gets some contact from Barcelo. That'll be the first on Alex, and that'll send Sullivan to the free throw line to shoot 2.
You see the quick hands of Barcelo getting in the passing lane. He gets the steal, and it led on the other end to this early offense bucket. I don't know if I'd call that a transition bucket, but it was early offense by TJ Haas.
Haas needs 16 points to pass Tom Collinsworth for number 12 all-time at BYU in scoring. And he's got a whole bunch of categories he's climbing. We'll break those down as we delve deeper into the night. But TJ Haas is climbing the charts of BYU history.
Finn Sullivan at the line, as you mentioned, that last game against Pepperdine, 25 off the bench. He was 10 of 13 from the field, 4 of 6 from three-point land, and how about 5 assists to go with those 25 points? That a phenomenal performance.
Barcelo
That's why you got to start tonight, right?
I think so.
You do that, you start the next game.
It seems like he should. Lost out of bounds off of San Diego. Now we'll have a correction. It'll be off of TJ Haws. And Haws complains to Vern Harris. He doesn't win the argument. Harris, Tony Padilla, and Doran Gottschall are officiating crew here tonight. First turnover for Haws. You call that a turnover? I guess you would. It was perfect against Portland. Calcaterra up for 3. And it's 6-5. Calcaterra shooting 36%. Sophomore out of Novato, California. He's the vocal leader on this Torero roster.
Well, and he's a guy that before the season's over, he's going to shoot better than that from 3. That's what he does well in high school. Very good three-point shooter with range out of Novato, California, Marin County.
Possession arrow is going to give the ball to San Diego. Let's see, emotions flying high. The Toreros have been very physical with BYU in recent years. And you see right there, it's going to be a fight for every ball before and after the whistle. 6-5, 5-0 Torero run. Hartfield up over 2 Cougars, and he's fouled. He'll go to the line. Jake Toulson picks up his first. And Hartfield, who was at Youngstown State and then transferred, sat out last year, so this is his first taste of BYU and San Diego's first game in Provo. Leading the team in assists and steals, points, rebounds, and he's their best on-ball defender.
Well, and he's the guy, we talked to Sam Scholl about how much he'll draw TJ Haws and try to stay in front, even though he's the best on-the-ball defender. He goes, it's hard to leave your top scorer on TJ Haws for a whole game. So you can put him on at times, but you really can't have him have that primary responsibility because TJ Haws runs a marathon every game out there, and you get that guy chasing him around, he's going to have no legs to shoot the basketball on offense.
Nixon for 3 from the corner. Dalton now 0 for 2. Yowan Masowski at 6'10", checks in for San Diego. Sullivan fires short. Masowski on the rebound.
Boy, great vision by Masowski. First of all, he chased down what I would call a 50-50 ball there because it was a long rebound, and then has the vision to get the ball down low and pick up an assist.
Jean-Marie's first 2. It's a 9-0 San Diego run. Cougars came out swinging, and the Toreros have counterpunched. Now Nixon leaves it short. Calcaterra up for 2. Another offensive board is Hartfield. And it's Nixon. Hands it over to Haws, and there's Sullivan. Long arms, knocks it out of bounds. That takes us to a timeout.
So for BYU, they start out 3 of 6, 50%, not bad. 0 for 2 from 3. But the level of physicality out there has really increased, and that's been to San Diego's advantage. They've been to the free throw line. They're 4 for 4 from the line because they're getting it down inside. They're playing on attack, and they're getting to the line.
Toulson driving on Hartfield. Jake loves that right hand. Nixon saves the would-be turnover. Shot clock is at 2. A foul. And Toulson's going to go to the line and shoot 3. Boy, what a tough foul on Hartfield as time was expiring on the shot clock. And that'll give Toulson 3 free throws.
And this is one of those ones where he's not squared up. He's not going straight up. If you go back, you go, man, I should have just let him shoot that shot. That would be a tough one.
It was a tough one. Didn't come close to going in. But Jake, a very good free throw shooter, one of the best in the league at 87%. It's the first and the second to get the third. While we wait for that, here's Spencer.
Dave, Mark Pope reemphasized the urgency for BYU to play transition defense in that last timeout. And he said, you see how desperate San Diego is to get you on your heels and rolling. That's creating some offensive rebounds for them as well. So he emphasized, just get back. I like what BYU's doing on offense. Just get back and play transition D. Dave?
Thanks, Spencer. Zach Sellius checks in. Spark plug for this BYU team. Hit all 5 of his 3-pointers on Saturday. Hartfield, speaking of threes, buries it. And he's got 5. And it's 12-9 San Diego.
Well, and BYU got in a help situation off of the screen, and then the helper left before the defender could return, so they left him wide open. The help needed to stay there a little longer that time until the primary defender could recover.
Reach-in foul against San Diego. And Jean-Marie picks up his first. Jared Rodriguez is into the game, and Jean-Marie will sit down. Shot clock reboots to 20. Hawes blocked by Sullivan. And Sullivan steps out of bounds trying to save it. That is exactly what Sam Scholl described to us during San Diego shoot-around today as to why Sullivan would be defending Hawes.
Yeah, and Finn Sullivan, athletic, and he's 6'4", out, covering BYU's point at 6'4", and long arms. And that's what Sam Scholl talked about, because his long arms are really a benefit to him defensively. And so he's got a tough assignment to stay in front of TJ Haws. Did a great job there.
Lee has it knocked away by Calcaterra, and another BYU turnover. The Cougars' third here in the first half.
That was a unique help. So Colby Lee had it, and they brought weak side guard help to try to dig that out. And Colby Lee never saw it coming.
Masowski working on Lee. Two big defensive linemen. Somehow Masowski worked his way to the rim, and he lays it in off the glass. Crowd wanted to travel. 5-point Torero lead. Salyas for three. Fight for the board. Toulson's got it. Jake gets it back from Lee. Nowhere to go with it, so he backs up. Leans into a three. Rattles out. Fight for the board, and the Toreros got it. Masowski again down low. Trying to feed Rodriguez. Salyas is out with it. Toulson. Haws for three. Crowd ready to welcome that one in, but the Cougars have started ice cold here tonight. And it's a 5-point Torero lead.
And this time as the Toreros are pushing up, because they've been pushing the basketball, trying to get early offense before BYU can get back. Last time they turned it over, this time Sam Scholl said, slow it down, run an offensive set.
Sullivan is fouled by Toulson. Toulson is trying to lobby that was a flop, but Sullivan's going to go to the line and shoot three as Jake picks up his second.
And a little nick of the wrist there, and you can see where the ball was way off because of it.
And there was a flop involved as well.
And it wasn't the down low foul that they called. It was the contact with the wrist and hand. But Toulson immediately turned over to Mark Pope and said, I'm fine. I have 2 fouls. Leave me out here. So we'll see if Mark Pope has enough trust to leave Toulson out there.
Harding's coming in, and TJ's going to come out. So Toulson will stay in.
When BYU makes that substitution, then Alex Barcelo ends up moving and rotating out to the point from the 2. And now BYU's got 2 big wings in Toulson and Harding at 6'6" and 6'6", playing those 2 wings.
Sullivan just 50% from the free throw line. He's much more comfortable out there at the 3-point line. He's got 5 points tonight. And San Diego with their largest lead, 16-9. Barcelo coming around the corner. Toulson draws some contact, gets it over Masowski's outstretched hands, and Marion Humphreys into the game trying to stay with Jake. Toulson gets his 5th.
Well, it's a tough. At 6'2", Humphreys is going to have a disadvantage down the post, and so they need Masowski to come over and help. The help was just too late that time.
Sullivan up for 3. Good catch and shoot, and he knocks it in. He's got 8. Mentioned he had 25 last week. He had 17, which was his career high before last week against BYU in Las Vegas. Salyas is denied at the rim. Another open 3. This one short from Sullivan. Toreros have come out swinging. Toulson again, working on Humphrey. And Humphrey, whose dad is an All-American tailback at Alabama, picks up his first foul.
If you watch, look the good skip pass by Masowski, who's as a big guy, a very good passer with good vision. He makes the skip pass, skips the defender next to him where BYU's ready to defend, and finds an open 3-point shooter.
Evan Troy is into the game. Trevin Nell hurt his thumb during shoot-around, and he is not dressed tonight. Another Cougar on the bench wearing a polo shirt. Barcelo up for three. Got it. Alex Barcelo hitting 40% from distance. He gets his first shot of the night.
I was really, a ball reversal started, and then they brought it right back to where it started and caught San Diego just a little slow. USD a little slow getting back to that.
For each three-pointer BYU makes this season, Mountain America Credit Union will donate $50 to the American Red Cross. Salyas underneath. He's fouled going up by Calcaterra. And Zach will be at the free throw line. Thank you, Spencer. We were all there in Las Vegas to witness it. It wasn't pretty. Salyas at the line. Earlier this week, Zach and his wife Kate announced they are expecting their first child. And Zach finishing up his eligibility at BYU. He's playing some of his best basketball.
Yeah, and he found that shooting touch from three in that last game. And I was just going to say he's been at 85% all season from the free throw line. And then I didn't even have to say it to jinx him. I was thinking it, and he misses.
That was enough. Evan Troy picks up the foul. That's his first. Crowd looking at the replay. Calcaterra is going to throw it in.
And Mark Pope was pleading his case as well. Evan Troy saying, I didn't touch him, and then Mark Pope was saying the same thing. He's been all over the official.
A ticky-tack foul on Connor Harding. That's his first. Each team with 5 team fouls. 11:21 to go here in the half. We're on our way to a bunch of free throws. Humphrey hands it off to Calcaterra. Now it's Hartfield. Here's another whistle and a foul. 3 fouls on the Cougars in about 6 seconds. And it is Nixon picks up his first. Not sure where, but
yeah, and this has been up to this point an unbelievably physical game. San Diego, University of San Diego really picked up the defensive intensity. BYU picked it up and matched. Been a lot of bumping, a lot of physical play, and then right here on this trip down, 3 touch fouls, bam, 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 in 6 seconds.
We'll see if that changes the tempo of the game. Ball knocked out of bounds off of BYU. 9 seconds on the shot clock. And here's a foul on Calcaterra, pushing off on Evan Troy, and that's his second. That was 4 fouls.
Yeah, 4 fouls.
In about 15 seconds.
All of which seemed like they would not have been called in the first 8 minutes of this game. On both sides, just bam, 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 bam. 4 fouls, 3 on BYU and 1 on San Diego. Almost like, okay, guys, maybe it's getting a little too physical out there. And we're going to force these teams to play position defense, play with their feet, and get their hands off of one another.
Floresca and Jean-Marie back into the game. Floresca is a very physical player. Barcelo. There's Troy. Shot clock under 10. Barcelo to Nixon. Driving baseline. Dalton throws it down. His first bucket of the game. He lifted off and just kept going up. And hammers the dunk, pulls the Cougars within 2.
When a defense is pressuring, you tell your guys, you got to play an attack. I would call that attack by Dalton Nixon.
Salyas on the steal. Barcelo for 3. Bang!
Boy, it's a good timeout.
Off the charts compared to last year. He's the leading rebounder on the team. And playing great basketball in his final season as a BYU senior. 20-19, Cougars by 1. Midway through the opening half. Jean-Marie driving on Salyas. Here's Humphrey. Hartfield working on Harding. And he travels, turns it over. Salyas over to help defensively, and a little extra step by Braun Hartfiled. And the Cougars have it. 7 turnovers now in San Diego.
And that series down there defensively, when they go back and watch the film, they're going to tell Zach Salyas, man, this is how you do it. He was helping, he was showing on screens. He made the difference down there that time.
Here's Salyas from the corner. Masowski on the rebound. TJ Haas back into the game for the Cougars. Celia's 5 for 5 shooting the 3 last week. Hartfield, his second 3 of the half. Now with 8 points.
Really good ball rotation that time. Went from left into the paint, outside, and then the extra pass. And that's how they want to play. They want to be able to, if they can go inside out and make BYU's defense condense and then have to spread back out, that's when they're going to get better shots.
Haas trying to shake Sullivan. Knocks him down, turns around, buries the 3. 7 for TJ.
That's just dirty right there. That's not right to do that. To just step back and then basically just calmly knock down the 3 after you just did that.
217 career 3s for Haas, 4th most in school history. Humphrey can't shake Barcelo. Shot clock under 10. Hartfield over Harding.
Wow, back-to-back big shots for Hartfield.
11 points here in the first half. Had 17 Saturday against Pepperdine. Lit up Hofstra for 25.
Hartfield averaging 13.1 per game. Oh, baby, that was a good-looking move. Connor Harding. He goes to the opposite side of the glass. Shot blocker coming over to help. And he goes, you know what, I'll just use the rim almost like a screen. You're not going to get to the ball through the rim, and I'll make it on the other side. Really creative shot by Connor Harding.
Harding wearing that knee brace on his right leg. He told us today he's feeling better. He hopes to have the brace off by March. But he's got a sore knee, he's got a bone bruise, and that brace is helping out. So he'll continue to wear it for a while. Nice maneuvering just to get the shot up by Jean-Marie, but Harding brings it out. Nixon blocks, and it is Rodriguez to Hartfield for another 3.
Boy, and Hartfield is really feeling right now. How about the play, though? Hey, the shot's great, but the defensive play on the other end was big time.
28-25, Toreros by 3. Haas trying to get it to Nixon, turns it over. Hartfield is 4 for 4 shooting 3s, and Toreros give it right back. It'll be BYU ball when we come. Hartfield has 14 points. The rest of his team has 14 points.
Well, and think about this. For BYU, the scouting report says, yeah, let him shoot a 3. He's a 32% free throw shooter, 3-point shooter. He's 4 for 4, so now you got to guard him. The scouting report just changed, right?
Absolutely.
And this University of San Diego team has been a poor 3-point shooting team so far. They've got guys that can shoot it, but they're shooting 31 for the season. Well, they're shooting it okay tonight. They're 6 of 9, 67%.
Connor Harding for 3, and he's got 5. Dish from Toulson ties the game at 28.
And BYU now 40% forward, 10 from 3.
Jean-Marie hands it over to Sullivan. They do the switch, and Kobe gets back down low against Masowski. Jean-Marie over Nixon. Tapped by Harding to Nixon, and out come the Cougars. Heads up play by Connor Harding, knowing he wasn't able to bring that thing down, but he could tip it to a teammate. And here's Toulson. Back to Harding. Nixon. Harding hit a 3 a moment ago. Feeds Colby Lee down low. Beautiful dish and a nice finish by Lee. And Colby's got 4.
And nice penetrate. Draw the big over to you and then get it to your big. That's just how you draw it up.
Masowski hands it off to Humphrey. From the free throw line. Leaving it short. Big fella gets the rebound. Can't finish it. And a foul on Jean-Marie. As Dalton Nixon trying to hold his own down there at the rim. And that's the second foul on James Jean-Marie. And BYU march all the way down to the other end and shoot free throws. Toreros have 17 fouls, and the Cougars have 6. Spencer.
Dave, in that last time out, BYU head coach Mark Pope really challenged Connor Harding specifically to get on Braun Hartfiled, who has the 4 3-pointers. Again, you guys have talked about that he can score. He went 20+ 8 times at Youngstown State. But Connor Harding is the man charged with defending him. Better job by Harding out of the timeout, and he answers with a 3 of his own. Dave?
Thank you, Spencer. Offensive board for the Cougars. Sullivan trying to hang with Haas. seconds. How do you stop that?
I don't know how he got that up. That was crazy.
He's got 5. Cougar lead is 4.
He was in amongst the trees, and you're thinking he's gonna get that thing blocked.
We got a technical foul on TJ. Want some contact perhaps on that shot. That'll go as his first foul. And TJ must have shared a few opinions away from the ball. And he was rung up for a technical, and that'll send Sullivan to the line. Haas is never shy of emotion, and he wears it right on his face. You can tell immediately if he's having a good day or if he's ticked off.
And I'll tell you, Tony Padilla is the guy that teed him up, and Tony Padilla made a couple of calls earlier that Mark Pope did not like. Mark Pope got in his ear. Padilla didn't like that. He made another call, and so sometimes the officials they get a little fired up too.
9 for Sullivan, and the Toreros pull within 2. Sullivan out of Torrey Pines High School right there in San Diego. He's got the ball. Wasowski waits for Humphrey. Here's Hartfield. Wasowski with it. 1 on the shot clock. Doesn't get it off. San Diego, they were showing a lot of patience. They just took 1 second too long.
A little too patient that time. I'll tell you what, on both ends of the floor, I'm really impressed with the effort level defensively, and just a hair late on that one. But the defensive level, both teams, a ton of effort defensively. There have not been uncontested shots very often in this ball game.
9 turnovers on San Diego. Toulson to Lee. Colby with 6. Colby's second in the league, hitting 60% from the field. Sullivan on the drive. A whistle and a foul on Nixon. That'll send Sullivan back to the line. And the second foul on Dalton Nixon.
And this is a nice assist by Jake Toulson. Colby Lee moving without the basketball. And then on the other end, you see as Finn Sullivan trying to go to the basket to drive and kick. Dalton Nixon just a little late getting there and picks up the foul. I like the attack mode out of Finn Sullivan.
Hartfield and Wasowski come out for San Diego. Nixon's out. Harding's out for BYU. And Sullivan, double figures here in the first half. Averaging 6 on the season. Really turned his game on here in conference play. 4:06 to go. Gets them both. 2-point lead for BYU.
And you look at how far the Toreros are extending that pressure on BYU's guards. The way you deal with that is you've got to attack.
There's a foul on BYU on the rebound. Toulson's complaining that he was fouled. And here they got at the free throw line, Alex Foresca with a chance to tie the game late in the first half.
And here's the thing. They've been unbelievably aggressive on the road on both ends of the floor. And that's what Sam wanted to get out of this young team here. And that's evidenced by they're 11 of 12 from the free throw line. That's because they're attacking, they're getting to the interior and getting to the free throw line. If you compare BYU's 4 of 6. So 6 free throw attempts, 13 now for the Toreros. They've been an aggressive team. They've been attacking the paint. And, Sam told us this afternoon that's what they needed to do.
Tied up at 34. Sellius to break the tie. Can't get it to go. And on the rebound, Sabri Phillip into the game for San Diego. Foresca hands it over to Sullivan. Gets it back. Forces it up. Gets the board. Fight and a foul on the rebound. And this will go again, Sullivan. And that'll be his second.
Well, and every rebound, physical, contested. You got to hand it to Colby Lee this time down there. He just kept vertical. Just kept his hand up and it was just like, I'm going to be a nuisance, but I'm not going to get my hand over the top of your ability to go up vertically and get a foul this time. He made it tough enough that Floresca missed that first attempt.
Sullivan is out. Braun Hartfiled back in for San Diego as Seljaas settles in at the free throw line. 9 fouls on BYU, 8 on San Diego. Connor Harding will check in for Toolson. Seljaas 21 last Saturday, his best offensive night since his freshman year back in 2015. That's pre-mission, pre-marriage, and seems like a long time ago. Gets the free throws to go. He's got 3 so far tonight. Cougars back in the lead. Hartfield. Harding's got a hard time hanging with it. The Toreros turn it over. Pause. Wheeling and dealing. Pops a 3. Buries it. 8 for TJ.
That was dirtier than the last one. That was a nasty crossover, and then he accelerated and stopped. That's not right.
Rodriguez in the corner for 3. Boy, Phillip high on the rebound. Colby Lee brings it down.
Got to take advantage of second chance opportunities. A great offensive board that time by Phillip, but he's got to convert on that one. You don't get those opportunities often.
Spencer will visit with Mark Pope here in a moment. We near 2 minutes. Harding as Lee goes down. And Humphrey is going to get hit with the foul.
Let's go back and take a look at TJ Haas. That crossover, first of all, is crazy. And then he accelerates and then pulls up and knocks down 3. Come on. That's not even fair.
Sam Scholl told us about TJ. He said his conditioning is a big strength of his game. People talk about, well, he can shoot, he can run, he can do this. It's just the ability, he said, to keep running and never get tired. And he's got to figure out which combination of guys are going to be able to keep up with him all the time.
And that's a tough, but we had that conversation with Sam, and I asked TJ after their show, and I said, hey, what do you do in the offseason? Do you run distance? What do you do? And he goes, nope, I just play basketball all day long. So he just, I know genetically he's got to be gifted to have that kind of a win to be able to run like that. He says, no, I just play basketball all day.
Step back by Sullivan, a foul on the offensive rebound attempt by Floresca. And BYU will head down the other way to shoot 2. That's 10 team fouls on San Diego. BYU with 9.
And the Trails, they got to be careful right now. So here you are under 2 minutes. They had this thing all even a minute ago.
Yep.
And what you can't let happen is don't turn the ball over and make mistakes and allow BYU to carry momentum into the locker room in a double-digit lead. You cannot have that. That would be it would kill your momentum. They've had such good momentum in this first half and played with such passion. You don't want to end this half on a down note.
8 points for Lee. Make that 9.
They need to get a good offensive set here where they take their time and get a good shot.
Largest lead of the game for the Cougars is 8. And this is an offensive foul on Sullivan. And that will be his 3rd. And he's going to stay down for a moment.
Remember we showed the inside the play earlier, and Finn Sullivan and TJ Haas collided on that one. And now let's take a look here. Oh, my goodness. That's some pretty serious contact.
He may have tripped on his teammate, and then he just went into Haas.
Yeah, I don't think that's what he intended to do. I agree with you. I think he kind of stumbled, and that created a pretty serious
So TJ's going to shake off the hit as well and march to the free throw line. And Haas is 65% from the line. That's as bad as he's been his entire career. That's not Haas-like.
He should be an 85% free throw shooter.
Now TJ's going to walk back to Mark
and they're called player control fouls. So
no
basically an offensive foul. So you don't get free throws on that type of foul. So they'll just take the ball out of bounds.
Barcelo. Lane opens up. Leaves it for Colby Lee. What a pass by Alex Barcelo. And Colby Lee's marching toward a career night. He's got 11. 10-point BYU lead. Hartfield steps back over Harding. Another foul on the rebound. And it's going to go against San Diego again, and it's Floresca.
Watch this. Barcelo just leaves it with a wraparound. He gets Floresca to help off of Colby Lee, and he knows where the help came from. So he's like, my big guy, if he'll get to the front of the rim, I'm going to get him the basketball. And he did just that. And for Floresca, that's 2 rebounding fouls when he's trying to get an offensive rebound down in the other end. He's got to be careful. They need him. They need his physical presence in there.
So the sophomore from Meridian, Idaho, marches down the floor again. This is the first. Rosowski's going to come in, and Floresca will go out. And Colby Lee will wait for another free throw. One of 2 on the trip. 11-point lead, 12 points for Lee. Rosowski looking for somebody. Calcaterra into the lane. Left hand, beautiful shot.
Right over the top of Colby Lee. Beautiful shot.
He's got 5. Harding to answer back for 3. And Connor Harding's got 8 points.
The ball goes down to the corner to Barcelo. The defense runs to him. He just kicks it right back to Connor Harding, spotted up on the 3-point line.
Final minute of the half. BYU by 12. Humphrey. Calcaterra steps inside the arc and leaves it short. Sellius is out with it. Haas slams on the brakes and backs it up.
And there's a veteran. He comes down and he counts. He's going, wait a minute, there's 2 of us, 3 of them. I'll just take it back and we'll get 5 on 5.
Barcelo gets it back from Colby Lee. Now it's Barcelo on the miss. Shot clock's off. Toreros can take the final shot. Been a very impressive last 5 minutes of the half for BYU. Hartfield. A step back 3. He hit his first 4, and he has cooled off since.
Got to get in the paint more. We got to attack, be more aggressive offensively.
Thanks, Coach.
I appreciate it.
Spencer, thank you. Coach, thank you. We're underway here in the second half.
Yeah, and Sam makes a good point. We talked to him about that this afternoon. He really felt the formula for the Toreros was to be more in attack, to get into the paint and attack, and not settle for threes. And it was BYU that, in the last 4 minutes, went and attacked the paint and took advantage. And I agree that that's what they need to do here in the second half. They got to they catch the ball, be ready to take it off the dribble and attack the interior of that BYU defense.
Nixon has 4. Hartfield from the baseline, an air ball. And out with it is Hawes. We mentioned the Toreros have been a better second half team. BYU, if you were to spotlight a couple of lulls, they've been in the second half because they've been red hot in a number of first halves. We'll see how each team counters that. The Cougars are 2 for 2 out of the gate, and Toulson now with 7 points.
Yeah, a defensive communication error there for the Toreros on the help.
Floresca handing it over to Sullivan. Sullivan playing with 3 personal fouls. Calcaterra up top wide open. Hartfield for 3. Offensive board. Hartfield another 3, and he parries the second one.
That's a score right there. Like, the first one wasn't close, and he's like, that's okay. I'm not going to miss another one from the same spot like that. I'll just recalibrate and knock it down.
17 tonight for Hartfield. Toulson.
That's a tough matchup.
Back-to-back buckets for Jake. He's got 9.
Tough matchup. And Sullivan, who had TJ Haas for a lot of the first half, but had 3 fouls, they can't afford to have him on him here in the second half. So now he gets the assignment of the more physical and bigger player.
Calcaterra off balance. The foul is on the rebound. It's going to go against Dalton Nixon. And for Dalton, that'll be his 3rd.
You see, this was the second chance opportunity. Missed the first one, offensive board, kick it back out, take advantage of it. And Hartfield, who's been really sharp from the outside, wasn't going to miss 2 in a row. He's got 5 threes now in the ball game.
Nixon goes out with his third. Zach Sellius is back in for BYU. Calcaterra with it. Picked up by Haas. Jean-Marie trying to shake TJ. TJ slaps it away. It's off of BYU. 7 seconds on the shot clock.
On the ball screen, on the switch, you end up having Haas, who's got a big disadvantage trying to defend Jean-Marie, the big, but he did a great job of getting the ball on the way up.
Our scorebox is presented by Brady Industries, a provider of commercial cleaning supplies and equipment. Sellius and Calcaterra jostling for position in the middle of the paint on the inbounds pass. Jean-Marie, the shot clock is at 3. Hartfield goes up, and Toulson may got a piece of that. They're going to call it a shot clock violation.
And it was a tough one. Hartfield knew that he only had 3 seconds on the clock, but he just couldn't find any room to get off a clean shot. Good defense that time by the Cougars.
Dozen turnovers now on the night for the Toreros. They go right back to Toulson. He has won 2 straight possessions over Sullivan. Gets a shot off here, and then a reach-in foul on Toulson. Frustration on the miss. Number 5 fouls Sullivan, number 5.
Well, and Mark Pope disappointed. Mark Pope doesn't mind the miss, but he's got this veteran guy that he's saying, listen, you've got 2 fouls in the first, and we're able to manage through that. That's the kind of foul. Very little reward. That's a high-risk, low-reward play right there.
Floresca. Here's Hartfield. And another foul down low. This is on Colby Lee, his second. And not quite sure what kind of game these officials want to have. They want to have a scrum, or do they want to... And we've kind of gone back and forth. And, boy, some ticky-tack calls. Got to frustrate the guys because sometimes there's bloodletting.
Yeah, and they're letting them body up pretty good, but down in that post, they've consistently been, when you put 2 hands on the offensive player and extend those hands, they're calling.
Jean-Marie for 3. Fight for the rebound, knocked out of bounds, and it'll go to BYU.
And the Toreros, they continue to go aggressively to that offensive glass, and for BYU, it's not a big basketball team. They have to block out.
Lee hands it off to Haas. TJ, lane opens up, doesn't need a lot. He doesn't need a lot to commit going in, and he's in.
You know what Sam Scholl was talking about at halftime to Spencer Linton, and we were saying we need to, be willing to put the ball on the floor if they close out. That's exactly what TJ Haas just did.
Haas with 14. Floresca, no, it's Calcaterra forcing up the shot. Cougars on the move. Toulson spins into the lane. Barcelo in the corner. And a reach-in foul on Sullivan. And that's his 4th.
And he's disappointed in himself because he got a little bit off balance there. TJ Haas, the last time down the floor, you close on him too quick. You got to stay under balance. He'll put the ball on the floor. He's not afraid to go attack and gets right to the rim there.
San Diego missed 11 of their last 12 shots to end the half. They are 1 for 6 to start the second half. And there's a reach-in foul on Hartfield. That'll be number 2 on the junior out of Cleveland. So now if you're a player, you go, can I touch him?
It's like, hey, I can play defense with my body, but obviously they're not going to let you reach. Anything you put your hands on an offensive player right now, you're going to get called with a foul.
Let's see what happens here. It's Toulson working Hartfield. Jake forces up the one-hander, and it's brought down by Calcaterra. Calcaterra up for three. Somebody's got to hit a shot for San Diego, or this one's going to be over quickly. Toulson on the spin, leaves it for Colby Lee. Right hand, maybe hook.
And he has been so aggressive. When his teammates have given him the ball in a scoring position, well, he is getting right on it and attacking.
That matches Colby Lee's career high, 14 points.
About penetration to kick. This was all TJ Haws. He didn't need an assist on that one.
Back to live action. Toreros are in a hole. They've made 2 of their last 19 shots.
It's just 10 made field goals, and that's the way you do it. You attack. And Hartfield getting all the way to the rim that time, putting the ball on the floor. 11 field goals now for this Toreros team. 21 field goals for BYU made.
Tell you how different of a game this is. TJ Haws had 13 points and 14 assists on Saturday. Tonight he's got 14 points and no assists as Barcelo's foul. So we put a schedule together that is rewarding the Cougars because they picked up some nice wins. But Blaine, after Saturday, as Barcelo hits the first, BYU will have played 3 teams who are currently ranked in the top 7. It'll be Gonzaga #1, Kansas #6, and undefeated San Diego State at #7. The strength of schedule is there. They got some impressive wins. That Houston and Virginia Tech pair of victories are never going to be bad.
And that San Diego State game, when they were in here, we're thinking, man, are they that good? And now we look a few weeks later and we're going, yeah, in the net. So not just the national ranks, but the net that they use, that's like the old RPI. They're #2 in the country.
Right.
And so BYU's losses this year are good losses. You hate to say that there's everything that's good out of a loss, but they're quality losses.
And you talk about a tough schedule with some big quality losses. You talk about San Diego. They come in 7-12 as the foul is on Humphrey. But they've got defeats to #7 San Diego State, #20 Colorado, Washington, who's been ranked most of the season, Stanford, St. Bonaventure, and #1 Gonzaga. This is San Diego's schedule we're talking about.
And remember, like Sam's dealing with, he lost a bunch of seniors last year. That last year's team could stand up to anybody, but he's trying to develop this young team, and that's the kind of schedule. That's a tough one. BYU with their veterans are more equipped for that kind of schedule.
Calcaterra fouled by Harding. He'll go to the line to shoot 2. As TJ trying to draw the foul on the 3-point shot.
Advancing the ball up, and the Toreros have been at their best in this, and see no question on that forearm as Harding, as Calcaterra getting the ball out in transition. Toreros have been at their best tonight when they're able to get a stop defensively and get the ball out and run and get early offense in transition.
Colby Lee comes out. Dalton Nixon is in. Calcaterra get ready for his second. Shooting into that student section. No easy chore, but he knocks them both down. San Diego is 14 of 15 from the free throw line, 4 of 19 from the field.
This game wouldn't even be close. It'd be a 20-point advantage if they weren't playing an attack and making free throws. That's how they've stayed in the game at all.
Trying to put a little run here together. Jean-Marie working on Celius. Uses his body to get position. Can't finish the shot. Nixon on the rebound. Here comes Toulson at full speed. Or check that, Haws to Barcelo. And Barcelo bangs the 3. He's got 11. Had 11 last Saturday against Portland. As Toulson gets ready to re-enter the game. Here comes Haws again. Out to Harding. Nice maneuver, but into the iron. And Humphrey comes back. And Humphrey will settle things down. His dad was the starting running back for the Broncos in Super Bowl 24 when they played the 49ers.
Dalton Nixon, that's back-to-back defensive plays. He took away a pick and roll, got in front of it and stole the lob pass, and then he just gets a steal here. And
TJ Masowski, no chance to get in front of TJ.
On the switch, you get your 5 on TJ Haws, and immediately he recognizes that and goes, there's no way this guy's staying in front of me.
Haws dealing with the big man. Masowski is the 5th leading shot blocker in San Diego history. And this time it's Calcaterra beating TJ, and TJ picks up his second. How about this move right here? He knew he was at the rim right there. No way from Masowski. And on the other end, here's Calcaterra. TJ's like, yeah.
And Calcaterra, really aggressive, forcing his way down the baseline, even though he was defended well by TJ Haws. He just muscled that thing up on the rim.
Haws is out. Lee is back in. Sellius will go out. Toulson back in for BYU. Cougars getting contributions from all over the roster. 9 points for Calcaterra. BYU had 6 guys in double figures last week, and they're closing in on that again. 65-49. Barcelo. Nixon. Shot clock's at 10. Toulson looks up, and now Jake will go to work. Wasowski on him. In he goes. Shot blocked. Good defense by the Toreros, and Phillip rejects Toulson.
A help defense that time. Every time Toulson turned the corner, there was a help defender. That was really good that time.
Rodriguez. This is Humphrey. Humphrey's really the future of this team. Redshirt freshman out of Alabama. Backdoor cut. Well defended by BYU. Nowhere to go for Calcaterra. Barcelo back to Harding. And San Diego, very good getting back defensively. No open shot for the Cougars, so Toulson hands it back to Harding. Shot clock's at 10. Lee and Wasowski on the reach-in. And he picks up his first.
Within his game and helped his development around the basket with that quick shot specifically. Dave?
Big Idaho it is on the inbounds. The lob to Barcelo. Tapped up by Lee and tapped up in and in by Colby.
On cue, Big Idaho finishes, right?
Career high, 16 points for Colby Lee. He's Big Idaho. Taysom Hill's got a new advertising thing as representing Idaho potatoes.
Right.
We're heavily invested in the gem state of Idaho. Connor Harding, another product from Idaho, having a good night. Here's Barcelo. Toulson backs it out, looks up, 14 on the shot clock. Harding hide in the corner. Toulson back to Lee. Colby throws it in.
He is just
18.
Finishing everything. Little pick and roll that time. He knew right where to go. Good spacing. Defense helping. What a great pass, too.
Lead back to 20. You know, a lot of people talk about what without Yoli Childs, where do they go to find the inside game without Yoli? And Colby has delivered. One-hander, a late whistle, foul on Lee. That's going to send Hartfield to the line. He'll shoot 2.
Remember, before the season, before the first game, you and I sat down with Mark Pope, and we said, who's going to surprise us? And he immediately goes, you wait till you see how much better Colby Lee is. He says that the work he has put in and the work this staff has done with him, he is going to be a very effective player in the post. He's been a good defender, but his offensive skills are going to be much improved. He understands exactly what we're trying to get done, and you're going to be surprised at how good he is. And we're not surprised anymore because he's done it all year.
Third foul on Lee. He'll come out. Sellius back in. TJ's back in. A slew of Toreros have checked in. And the free throw good by Hartfield. 21 for Hartfield.
And Hartfield's had a very solid game all around.
How about Haws? He shoots 70% from the field line.
And remember, Sam Sholto says BYU gets a give and go here. They're like putting a clinic on how to run stuff. But remember, Sam talked to us about not really wanting to put Braun Hartfield on TJ Haws because it just wears him down on the offensive end. But he's had TJ Haws here in the second half. He's having to go at it as the best on-the-ball defender and their leading scorer. He's doing both in this game.
Nixon now with 6 points. Here's Hartfield. Down inside, Jean-Marie over Sellius. Off the glass and in.
Physical play down there, patient. He had guards down trying to dig it out. Still finished.
7 for Jean-Marie, right at his average. Toulson, another give and go. Nixon. Back up and in. So a miss, an offensive rebound, and a putback for Dalton Nixon. He's got 8. Nine minutes to play. Jean-Marie passes on the 3. Humphrey delivers on the long ball. His first shot of the night, this redshirt freshman.
And credit the skip pass cross court. You find a guy wide open on that cross court. That was a good pass and a good assist.
Another give and go. And Toulson jumps out of there. Beautiful pass by Hawes. Hartfield, another 3. Jake on the rebound. Sellius, corner. Harding for 3. Talking about Idaho, there he is, Connor Harding out of Pocatello. He's got 11.
But Mark Pope talks about ball movement. Get the ball out quick. Don't let the ball be sticky. That's as unsticky as it can get. Zach Sellius, almost a touch pass. The extra pass for the open shot.
Jean-Marie has it blocked by Nixon. He wanted to dunk it. Dalton said not this time. And here we go. Sellius blocked by Masowski. Here's Hawes for 3. And it goes. TJ with 19.
Did either. He's just been a stellar defender that's played unbelievably physical for BYU defensively. He's had 3 big, huge plays here in the second half. 2 turnovers that he's forced and that block right there.
TJ needs one more basket to pass Kyle Collinsworth into 12th all-time in scoring at BYU. And the names only get bigger after that. Toulson, strong drive to the basket. A late whistle and a foul on Masowski. That'll send Jake to the line to shoot 2 as the 6'10 Masowski out of Minsk, Belarus picks up his second foul.
Masowski coming over. He's been a great shot blocker. 107 career blocks coming into this game. 40 plus in his first 2 years. Number 5 at USD all time.
They always have a shot blocker.
Yeah, all time, number 5. That's saying something because they've had some good guys that were good rim protectors. And on that last one, Toulson just says, you know what, I know all that, but I'm going right at him.
Barcelo comes in and TJ goes out. Toulson gets them both. Jake's got 11. Spencer.
Dave, Mark Pope is not shy with his commentary about his team, but a consistent theme has developed, and that is him complimenting his guys for being focused on the task at hand and not overlooking any opponent. He has said he's paid to be nervous, and he's trying to get his guys to think that way, and so far so good tonight. Dave?
Thanks, Spencer. Colby Lee holding his position. Toulson up for 3. 14 now for Jake. He's hitting 44% on the season from 3. Number 3 in the WCC with 43 makes on the year. Just quietly getting it done. Back into Masowski. Calcaterra with a 2. He's got 11.
A nice floater by Calcaterra there. Yeah, Toulson he's a great scorer, but he's an unbelievably unselfish player. Like, just you can see that he just enjoys setting his teammates up. Like right here.
He is on fire.
He's having the game of his life. Assist to Toulson and Colby Lee. Hey, I've got all these shots around the rim and free throws. How about I get my 21st point knocking down a 3?
8 for 8, 21 points for Lee. Sullivan challenging Lee. He goes down and Colby looks exhausted. He picks up his 4th personal foul. He can hit those. We talk about it every game. He's now 5 of 9 from the 3-point line. His confidence growing right in front of us. He's up near 10 points a game when Yoli's out. 3.5 points when Yoli's in. His rebounds double because his job has changed.
Yeah,
You're now the big man.
You've got to give production. Finn Sullivan before that miss, he was 8 of 9 from the free throw.
There's Yoli looking
line. He's now 8 of 10 now.
Lee goes out to a thunderous roar as fans rise to their feet. It's a 14-2 run. We saw Yoli there a moment ago. We talked to him today, and there he is celebrating with his big man. And Yoli, we watched him condition with the team today. He says he's getting better. He's going to be back sooner than people think, are his words. And, of course, BYU will take a conservative approach because they need him when he's back. They need him the rest of the way.
Yeah, that's what
Salyas drives in, and Salyas picks up the foul.
Yeah, offensive foul there. Yeah, they don't want him to come back too soon only to re-injure or have a problem in a setback. They want to be sure when he comes back he's there for the final run through the rest of the season and into the tournament.
Doubtful for Saturday. Next Thursday, there's an important road swing for BYU at Pacific in San Francisco. We'll see about Yoli once we get into next week. Masowski on the board. Salyas goes down. No whistle. And Masowski puts it in. And now they're going to call a flop warning as Vern Harris will come over and stop play for a moment.
So you get one warning. So BYU's had this warning.
You be the judge here. There's the shoulder.
He lowers his shoulder, but here's the thing.
Nobody can sell it like that.
So you give up ground. It was a little bit dramatic. I'm gonna admit that was pretty dramatic.
He had a flop warning against St. Mary's as well. Nice move to the bucket by Sullivan, who's got 13. 87-60. Toulson working Calcaterra. Here's Nixon. Beautiful pass to Barcelo. Humphrey on the rebound. Humphrey up for three. Good.
And this is what Sam Scholl wants to see. His guys aren't thinking, hey, we can easily come back and win this game, but he wants to see this young team fight right now. And for Mark Pope, he wants to see a team like...
So we got a technical foul on the BYU bench. Somebody said something down the line. And Tony Padilla has had, I think he had a bad flight in or something. That's the second tee he's rung up on BYU. First was on TJ Haas. Mark Pope's asking for an explanation from Vern Harris.
I know the guys on the bench were complaining about the time before. They felt like when Alex Barcelo went up that I can't remember which Torero defender got their hands up in the net and in the rim. And if you've got your hands on the rim and in the net while the ball's up there, if basket interference in the basket counts, and they were yelling about that. Nobody made that call. I'm not sure if it was, but I think they were still jawing about that.
Well, they got rung up, and it's 87-66. Now, after all that, and an 8-0 San Diego run, Connor Harding will throw the ball in. 4.5 minutes to go.
We were saying, like, what Sam wants to see is this team.
Salyas, he'll go to the line.
Battle, even though they're down. And what Mark Pope wants to see is, hey, when my team's got a team down, can they step on the gas? Can they separate themselves and still play with the kind of intensity that got them this big lead to finish this thing out? That's what these two coaches are looking for now.
Rodriguez picking up the foul. And Salyas at the line. Different kind of night for Zach. He had 21 on Saturday. And he's sitting on 3 here tonight. But he has been the spark plug on their defense, which has triggered that big run to end the first half. Been fighting out there here in the second. Troy is in, and Harding will come out. 88-66. 4 points for Salyas. BYU closing in on 14-5 and 3-1 in the league. Masowski travels, turns it over, and he'll plead his case and shake his head. 16th turnover on the Toreros, and Phillip will come in for Calcaterra. San Diego came out and really out physical BYU in that first half, and the Cougars seemed to just quietly adjust.
Until the last 5 minutes, and a good steal here by Humphrey.
Salyas fouls him. He'll go to the line. That will take us
taken what the defense has given and then attacking. And it's been different opportunities in different games. And I think this squad, they don't care who gets the points. They just want to win, and it's evident by them sharing the basketball and having different scores. And how about Jake Toolson? He's got 7 assists now in this game without a turnover. That's 15 assists over the last 2 games with 0 turnovers. That's some senior leadership right there.
Barcelo. Here's Nixon. Dalton makes his move, loses it, gets it back, puts up a fake, and puts it in. And he's got 10. We're going to have to look at that again. There was a lot going on.
I don't know what word to describe. Crafty? Can I call it crafty, or do I call it sneaky? I don't know which to call it, but it was good.
6 Cougars in double figures on that make by Nixon. Evan Troy handing it back to Toolson. Gets it back. Troy on the move, leaves it for Dalton. Beautiful pass by Troy. Dalton with a dozen. 92-66.
For Nixon now, 12 points, 5 boards, and 2 steals.
What a big night. Everybody finding a way to contribute in different ways each night. Mentioned Haas with 14 assists the other night, just 1 tonight. But he's got 19 points, shooting 70% from the field. Mark Pope calls timeout. I think he wants to get some guys in.
Because Mark Pope just called timeout to get guys in. And you know, the 2 teams are going like they're going to have a discussion. And Vern Harris is going, guys, like, he called a timeout just to get some substitutions. Just keep it rolling here.
Blaze Neal back to Troy. Tyler Haas seemed to master that fake and shot as Troy goes up. Brandon Davies claims he started that. We've seen it from TJ a couple of times, and then we just saw Dalton Nixon.
Wait a minute, I've seen Steph Curry do it a few times. We're not going to.
I'm just talking about it here. Just kind of here in this building.
Okay.
Yeah. That's whole next level stuff.
If we're going to go all the way back, can we just go back to Larry Bird or Magic Johnson? Because those guys perfected that.
Turnaround shot is good for Jared Rodriguez, a sophomore out of Glendale, Arizona. That's his first 2 tonight. Under 2 minutes to go. All right, let's talk about Gonzaga now. Saturday night, Zags ranked number 1 in the country. As Harding goes up to 3. Tap to Rodriguez. What do you think Saturday?
It's without Yoli Childs, it's going to be tough for BYU because the Zags are so big and so physical inside. And their guard play, as always, is really, really solid as well. And so it's one of these teams that there's not a weakness.
The tie-up will give the ball to the Toreros. Troy was kind of in no man's land, left to himself.
For the Zags, there's not a weakness, Dave. Like, so they can throw it inside and pound you inside. If you go and double too much, they got guys who'll make shots on the perimeter. It's an outstanding defensive team. Mark's got another great defensive team up there. They're very deserving of being number 1 in the country. That's a tough one for BYU. With Yoli Childs and the way this team shares the ball in defense, you have more of an opportunity. But how does can BYU do it? Yeah, they go and shoot lights out. This is a good enough shooting team that if they're shooting it, remember the game we did where they had 80% in the first half? You shoot it like that, you can beat anybody.
They got a team of seniors, even if Yo's out. And they have a history of playing well in Spokane.
Yeah, they won't be intimidated up there by any means. This could be a question of whether or not they shoot lights out.
That's prime time Saturday night on ESPN2. And then next week, at Pacific and at San Francisco. Those are 2 very important games because those are 2 games that the world that lives around bracketology says, well, you've got to win those to win your way into the big dance.
Easier said than done,
right?
Because those are 2 teams playing really well.
But there's an outside shot. Yoli could be back for that swing.
Yeah, and you could really use him for that.
There's TJ and Yo. Quite the tandem. And if Yoli doesn't hurry back, TJ's going to pass him in the all-time scoring list. He came in tonight 67 back of Yoli, and he scored 19. So just chip that off the block, and TJ will go to work on it again on Saturday. But when Yoli's back, this is a team that can contend in the WCC and earn their way into the big dance and win a game or 2. They haven't done that since 2012.
So Connor Hardy coming from the weak side, try to help ball exposed out there and tipping it out, but picking up the foul.
Interesting, these two teams. The three-pointer has been such an important shot for BYU.
And we just saw the replay. The fans saw the replay too, and it was a clean steal that time with the ball. So the crowd saw that on the big screen.
BYU 11 of 22 shooting a three tonight. You might go, seems like they should be shooting more tonight, but San Diego's ranked number 3 in the league in defending.
Yeah, and they did, and especially in that first half, the Toros did a phenomenal job of closing out on those shooters. BYU didn't get very many good looks, and in the second half, when the Toro team got worn down a little bit, BYU got much better looks.
BYU number 2 in the league shooting the three, number 1 in defending it. We asked Mark Pope which stat he's most impressed with, and he goes, defending it.
He says because this team has put so much work in to get that done, to the point where part of their conditioning every day in the offseason and during the season is about defensive mobility.
Eric Shorks had a big hand in that, the conditioning coach for BYU.
Yeah, he went to Eric and just said, listen, for us to be a better team, defensively, we have to have more lateral quickness. We have to have more defensive mobility. And so he literally designed a bunch of drills as part of their everyday routine to give them a little more quickness and make them a little more mobile defensively. And Mark Pope says its mentality is about half of it, and the other half is they've just dedicated the effort to get better physically so they can defend better.
And interesting, how many coaches have told us this year when they've talked about this BYU team, and they've said, well, in years past, BYU's just tried to outscore us, and now they are trying to stop us. And that's been a very big difference. And look at it again tonight. We're tied at 32, and it's now 93-7. And BYU's going to march toward their 14th win. They'll be 14-5, 3-1 in the league, and so many of those games without their star player. The crowd singing. This is a big win for BYU. They were humiliated by San Diego in the West Coast Conference tournament. Eliminated in their first game, blown out in the first 5 minutes. And tonight, BYU is the team of seniors. San Diego is the team where there's just one senior.
That's right.
And
it's a reversal from last year for sure.
And a reversal of the score.
Yeah, and you know, for Mark Pope, he's just got to be so pleased with the way this team's playing without Yoeli Childs and how they play as a team. And for Sam Scholl, I mean, it's a tough one on the road, but he knows that they've got